Let's talk about some of the Hamiltonian victories because he got how many of these he got? Like 7, 8, 9, 4, right? Four,
Four.
four. Only one guy's got more than you, right?
John, yeah.
He's pretty good.
it,
It's like
it's more than pretty good.
so. What's one that you've instead of listing off all the races you've won because you've won Breeders' Crowns. Yeah, give me one or two experiences or something that you wanted that you didn't win or you wish you could have experienced.
Uh, there's one race that I never drove in it, and that's the one race that I missed. I always thought that I could do it at the end of my career, and I never pushed it hard enough, I guess, or never had the chance. Was the Prix d'Amérique.
Okay, why not? What was it? Just you just never got the opportunity to go, or why didn't you push it?
I One year I could have drive one in the Prix d'Amérique, but it was a long shot. It was like 80-1 shots or something like that. I didn't want to do that.
It wouldn't have been fun to you to just be
No.
in the race.
No.
You want to win,
I want to have a little shot.
right? A competitive horse to win.
Just to say, I went there and I drove in a race. No, I didn't want to do that. One year I drove on the day of the Prix d'Amérique.
Okay.
I drove in another race.
What an amazing day! I mean,
one of the best experience I had.
yeah.
It just before we went behind the gate and the backstretch, I look at from the backstretch there, all the crowd and the grandstand and the clubhouse there in France there, and I had goosebumps all over.
1994. That was your first Hamiltonian, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, with Victory Dream.
Right, Victory Dream. Up until that point, was the Hamiltonian because, like you said, you drove in it in 1988.
Yeah.
And then you had a second couple years later.
Yeah.
So you were kind of building up to
Definitely.
As a driver, it's kind of tough to just jump into it your first race and then win, right? I mean, just because you don't want to make the little mistakes. You learn, okay, I did the and you build up.
I never felt like that I was making mistake. Even that time with Imbecile Bell, I just kept it for myself. I never said anything to anybody that I could have. Because I don't want to, I'm not a sore loser.
Sure.
I'm not a good loser, but I'm not a complainer. I don't like people that complain about after they lost.
Sure.
Just turn the page and go on to this another time, and I never expect this. It's coming to me, and I should. And no, you have to earn those things there.
And that's what I mean. Like you build up your confidence, and you build up. Was there other races that you had, like major races, the Meadowlands Pace, the Breeders' Crown? Had you won some of those races before the 1994 Hambletonian?
Yes, yeah, because I won the Meadowlands Pace with Matt Scooter.
Okay.
In '88.
So you really were building up.
I had some $1 million race.
So this was like one of the last checkoffs that you had to do.
Yeah.
So you kind of felt like, all right, I have the resume, I can do this. We got the horses.
No, I always felt grateful when something like that came towards me. 93, I didn't have a great year that year. I had some health problem that year, and 1993 was a bad year for me. And 94, I had a good start. And that year, everything went good.
Everything went well.
Yeah.
So Victory Dream, up until that point, he was pretty much rock solid, right?
Yes,
he had won pretty much all his races. I don't know if he wasn't undefeated going into it, but he pretty much.
Yeah, he was a solid.
He was a solid horse. You obviously had a good relationship at that point with Ron Gurfein, right?
Yes.
So you guys kind of knew what you had. Now the road back then, totally different than what it is now.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was different sire stake schedules, this and that, but still the prep races were prep races, and you knew going into it that. All right, we got ourselves a horse, right?
Oh, definitely. But back then it was a different ball game completely. I'm not saying that it's not the right thing they're doing today, but back then, when you were driving a horse, let's say Victory Dream, I never worry about, is it my last time I'm going to drive him? It's like I own the horse.
Right, okay.
And I was driving in Victory Dream in June and thinking about, oh, when I get to Lexington in the fall and this, you want to keep your horse good all year and you want to gradually go up and
hit the peak at the Hamiltonian in Lexington, the Breeders' Crown. You want to hit the peak at those moments.
Yeah.
So you win the Elim, right? Or the heat. Yeah, right. This was the couple before.
Yeah, but the week before, back then there was the Beacon Course.
Right.
And he was a heavy favorite, and he, till this day, I don't know why he didn't race good. And Ronnie's the same thing.
Everybody has a bad day, right?
And he had a bad day.
Rather it be bad at that day than Hamiltonian day.
And I don't know why he had a bad day, but he finished fourth, and it wasn't one of the worst race, probably the worst that he did in his life, because he was a wonderful horse, the Victory Dream, great horse.
So he has an off week now going into the heat, same day heat. Was your confidence a little bit shaky, or you said, you know what, I'm just going to let the horse, I'm going to drive him?
No, definitely my confidence was shaky.
It was shaky?
Oh, for sure, because he had
the bad start.
Yeah, and I always been the kind of person there to, I don't get too high on a horse for no reason, or I always, I use that word sometime. I don't like to sell the skin before I kill the bear.
Now, what an interesting thing is, the horse had the bad kind of race. You're a driver. You're driving all over the place. You're racing everywhere. So you're not around the horse. You can only Ron is around the horse every day. He knows, hey, Monday morning we jogged him. He's sound. He's good. He's back to normal. Tuesday, he's trained well.
Yeah, but we had a very good relationship, me and Ronnie. I had confidence in him.
Okay. So you weren't really worried, even though you're from afar?
I wasn't worried because there's nothing I could do. I knew he was in charge, and I knew he was going to do his work.
Okay, so you knew he's going to, and that's it. Hey, that week I'm just going to drive. I'm going to do my job with the other horses.
I went to the Hambletonian draw, and I wasn't sure. I said if he comes back like he was last week, that no good.
Right.
He's got to be like he was the week before, and Hamiltonian day he showed up like he's supposed to.
In the heat, what point in the heat? And obviously he went on to win the heat. Did you know, all right, we're back?
Just turning for home.
Turning for home,
the first heat. I just went out. He was strong.
Boom, he was strong. Now we're going to watch the final here. So now your confidence was up. It went down. Now it's back up.
Yeah.
So now you're going to the final. I just got to do my job. The horse has to do his job, and that's it. Were you really worried at all about any competition?
Not really, because he was a great horse. I haven't seen that replay too many times, but I think Jimmy Tactor left with a horse on the outside and.
Wait, so you don't watch your own How many times have you watched these? Just like maybe once or twice?
No,
I thought
some of it maybe 4 or 5 times.
One driver who he's got it on a loop.
Oh no!
In his house.
No, I don't do that. Do that.
Okay. You got the one hole here.
Yeah, and if I remember right, I think Jimmy Tactor I think he even, cut short in the first turn.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bruce. The field for the Cadillac Hambletonian behind the gate and moving up. Here they come. And they're off. Mr. Levesque out quickly.
Yeah, that's it.
Along the inside, Victory Dream from between horses.
This was the fastest first quarter so far.
Yeah.
And Mr. Levesque will look for the lead around the first turn, and Jimmy Tactor will take over by 2. Victory Dream for Lachance in the second spot. Call upon.
I just wait that he took a hold of him, and that he came back at me a little bit, and then two-step, he was back in front.
You had a little, so you knew, okay, he got the jump on you. You knew where you were going to retake, though, right? You knew you wanted the front at some point.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think that's Cat Manzi on the outside. It's tough to tell right here, but are you already kind of moving out to retake the lead and just waiting for tact? Like, you're not charging to the front. You're just kind of nice and easy waiting.
I was just waiting that Tactor comes back at me.
Right, because you knew that was...
Yeah, I wasn't going to chase him.
Right. And Tactor probably knew, hey, I'm just going to get to the front and then eventually settle my horse down. So there was no urgent moments here, even though, because the angle, it looks like tight quarters and things like that, but you really had no issues here.
Out early from Enzi. Then it's Bullville Victory in fourth, with Gumball fifth. Another length and a half to Bitesome. Smasher is away seventh.
You could kind of see you're just floating up.
Yeah. Federal Yankee in two to Space Probe. Opening quarter.
And he was grabbing to let me go.
26 and 3.
Did you worry about 26 and 3?
No.
Did you even see it?
No, because it was so easy.
Now to take over the lead.
He was doing that so easy.
Okay.
And I didn't follow him like a rat in his helmet.
Sure.
I just took my time.
Victory third. The first over is Bosporus in fourth. Bitesome fifth. Off stride is Gumball. Gumball on a break. That's Call Upon in sixth. Smasher. The outside seventh.
Nice stroll around the oval. No pressure.
No.
Look, I mean, he's got a nice gait on him, nice and smooth. Yeah, I don't even think you look over to see who's first over. Did it even matter?
No.
So you just...
I was very comfortable with him, as far as I can remember. But, there was my first Hamiltonian, and that's back then, even if I already won a couple little brown jug, the Hamiltonian was the Hambletonian. It was the biggest race in the world.
So you were maybe does your heart
definitely.
So your heart's starting to
I was feeling good in the stretch. I was very.
So now going into the last turn, you're not even looking. You don't even care.
No, but I knew that my horse felt so good.
Well, as they approach three quarters, the one that catches Victory Dream, who leads it by a length and a half. Bitesome, beginning to surge on
you got a middle half in 59 and 3.
Yeah, but that horse it's a two-finger horse.
You're still not even moving here.
I got the whip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Just cruising.
Okay, you finally, midway through the stretch, tapped him on his tail just to get his attention.
Yeah, but just to make sure, because, a driver should never fall asleep. And
the horses sometimes they get caught at the wire.
The driver it's too confident, and the horse is too confident, and you get nipped at the wire.
Nipped at the wire.
In a race like that. So I just didn't want to take a chance there, but I knew that nobody was going to.
So you touch him with the whip, and that's it. Hit the afterburners,
and you respond right away.
And right now, I mean, that's it. You're drawn off by 2-3 lengths.
And if I remember right, I put the whip back on my shoulder or something at the wire. Maybe not.
Yep, there you go.
Oh yeah.
You didn't pose. You didn't do nothing. You had plenty of chance. You had a couple seconds there to pose at the wire, yell to the fans. No. Wave to the wife. 54.
And especially it was my first one. So I was very humble.
So you just wanted to make sure you got the job done.
Yeah.
How long after did you yell after the wire?
No, but I was just so happy. I said that's something they can't take it away.
That's it.
I won some jogs, and I won that Hamiltonian. I didn't even think about that I could win more Hamiltonian, but I was just so happy. That was something I got it done.
You finally got it done. So now you're like, that's it. And I'm sure the next week it finally set in. Hey, I won this thing. Like
the Hamiltonian, it stays with you for the 3 weeks a month. Really.
So that was one of the only times you didn't turn the page. You wanted to ride that.
No, I turned the page, but people reminded you.
Oh, okay.
You all over. Back then, I was on the Grand Circuit driver, so I was all over the United States. And there's not a place that I went. Congratulations, the Hamiltonian. That's why it's the.
That's kind of nice. Then you constant reminder, even though you're doing your job, turning the page. It's like you traveling, like you said, and it's a constant reminder.
Yeah. but I was never like a guy to let that go to my head, and so I was something special because I went in the Hamble. Just a little thing out there. You should be grateful that you're fortunate enough to have a chance to drive horses like that. So, there's a lot of people that have the talent to win a race like that, but they'll never get a chance to sit behind a horse like a Victory Dream.
Victory Dream, Ron Gurfein, and driver Mike Lachance could taste their first ever Hambletonian victory.
It's one of my dreams, everybody would like to win the Hamiltonian. I won most of the big races except that one, so you know how much I want it.